Hi, my name is Phillip. I'm the owner of Paramount Dental Studio here in Huntington Beach, California. We did buy, I think, one of the first auto finishers out there, auto polishers. It is a great machine that polishes all sorts of products. We think it's best at polishing crowns. This is kind of a big pain point, I think, for our lab, and I'd imagine most labs, is polishing zirconia or metal. Polishing zirconia takes forever. You know, I've done it by hand and it always takes forever. And also, you tend to do it inconsistent. Some areas are a little more, maybe even skip an area. I'm sure all us technicians understand we polish these things and then they kind of fly out of our hands and like it's all over the place. Like drop crowns, just kind of the reality of working in a lab. But this kind of gets rid of all of that. It does polish well on night guards and a handful of other removable items. As a lab owner, why I do like it is that it does replace existing machines. So it's not like a brand new item you have to buy, right? Like I don't have to buy another wheel, another whole polishing set, another motor, because this is essentially one of those. So I don't need both. Furthermore, the people who are polishing actually usually are on the lower, the beginning stages of their lab technician journey. Polishing isn't as high of a skill set as you would imagine as like stacking porcelain or things like that. I always find it hard for employee growth when I have a bunch of people polishing and they can't really get into other skill sets. Trying to teach them new skill sets, it's really hard if they're stuck at a polishing station. I feel like that's more prep work for higher technical work, the polishing stages. And so it does free up a lot of my people to actually do other things. So if I have a lot of reliable polishers, I bet you that they would be great at other skill sets too. Maybe it's nesting, or maybe it's 3D printing, the whole gamut of items we do in a dental lab. So that auto polisher does free up a lot of my guys to do other things. I feel like and more skilled things. And I do think that helps with retention and many other things, doing interesting things every day is better than fortunately trying to polish all day. It's satisfying for one or two, but when you're doing hundreds, it just becomes, just kind of an assembly line mentality, which you don't want any person doing that. People get complacent, things like that. Yeah, so as far as the auto polisher, we did have a learning curve. It is a brand new piece of equipment for us, and I do think the rest of the market. Fortunately, the setup is rather easy. Any handyman can look at it, look at the instructions, and go off to the races. Difficulty always is getting the formula just right, because I'm sure every lab, just like milling machines and things like that, different machines work better or worse in different hands. And we just had to readjust the polisher to our style and our level of finishing. So we did jerry rig a little bit of it, and then we use walnut shells to do metal stuff. And we learned that from other industries. Polishing metals, walnut shells are actually great. We started incorporating a lot of that. Our engineers, we do have an engineer on staff to be able to, pull lessons learned from a lot of different industries. We did kind of get this to our liking, and then once you set it up and once you build the workflow around it, I think it really is helpful. Polishing zirconia crowns, I don't know if everyone actually does it. I know we're all supposed to prior to glazing, knowing a handful of labs that it's just a lot of time per crown. And so that auto polisher really lets us do the right thing and without too much cost here. And all in all, once it gets going, I do think it's a very useful piece of machinery. I know it's daunting at first, any new piece of equipment, but I kind of feel like if we don't adapt to machinery like this is not an optional piece of equipment. This will become a mandatory piece of equipment